I've come to learn from my dealings with so many that for some women, not all mind you, aging in general and the menopausal journey can really leave them feeling deflated, a little blah, invisible, and for some, just not feeling it's worth to try and sparkle anymore. Not so, my friends. Sparkle on high, I say. Through my work with women, I'm passionate about helping them understand this is not the case and helping them understand that really they can still thrive and that they still have so much to offer the world. And what we wear is not only a reflection about us, it's how we are feeling and showing up in the world out there. We all know that with our health and wellness, it's so much about how we feel. When we feel good, we feel we can conquer absolutely anything. We get that our sass in our step, and it doesn't matter about size or weight or other things if we truly feel fabulous from within. And it shows to those that we meet as well. Symptoms, as we know, can really play havoc with us, with how we feel, with what we're wearing is no different, my friends. So I was really excited to have the wonderful Susan Jacobs as my guest today. Her company is called Personal Style Image Wardrobe Consulting, and I've always had such amazing conversations with her. We get quite excited. This conversation was absolutely no different, and the tips and tricks she offers women are so important, very exciting, since after all, my friends, this is so not the time to become invisible and shrink into oversized, bland clothes thinking this is what the world expects of you. Oh no, you, my friend, really deserve to shine. So let's allow Susan to tell us how, and enjoy. So Susan, I am just so excited about having you here. I know we have some really great conversations. You know, whenever we get together,
Yes.
we get into really wonderful topics about women's confidence and everything, especially.
Yes.
So it was wonderful when you said you do this episode all about the coolest fashion tips for hot women. And we're sort of hot in different ways when it becomes the menopause years.
Right.
It's been said that a positive body image can really help a woman have a completely different experience going through the menopausal years, completely different experience. And we know that this age and this time of life can really help women feel, not help them, but they can feel frumpy.
Mm-hmm.
They can really feel just lacking in confidence.
Sabotages
Absolutely.
that confidence, for sure.
And there's also been studies done which has shown that a lot of women don't want to opt for treatments, let's say. And I'm not saying not to, that's not what this show is about. But for those women that don't opt for treatments, they want to go the holistic way of how can I be healthier? How can I, help how I look? And to me, a huge part of that is fashion, because I think how we look on the inside is reflected outside, and vice versa. If we're feeling not so great, we're maybe not going to dress very well. And so
it's not motivating.
No, exactly. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how it can affect us, how it can make us feel wonderful. And I thought we would start with, how about talking about weight shifts, body changes, and how that makes us feel, and how therefore we can sort of give ourselves a few little tips as we get into thinking about fashion.
So going back to what you said about confidence, I don't think, so as an image consultant, every time I'm with a new client, the topic of body image comes up. Groans and moans, or, oh, I couldn't wear that. Oh, it's going to showcase my midriff, or, I want to minimize my breasts or enhance them.
Yeah.
So the body part is very important. And when speaking of menopause, when you are in that cycle of freezing cold, and then you're hot, and then you're freezing, it is really tricky to dress. And I'm dealing with this with clients. I went through that a long time ago because it was surgically induced.
Okay.
So for me, it was like, I didn't know that my wrists could sweat, or my elbow, or behind my knees. It's like, what's going on? So I get it. And how do we minimize that? Because when you feel yucky, you definitely are not going to communicate and portray that really polished, put together self, unless you are super in tune with faking it. How do you fake sweat dripping down your face and your neck? It's really hard to do that. So Cotton, cotton, cotton.
Lovely, because that was going to be my question,
Yeah.
was do you have fabrics that you would
Yes.
suggest to wear or not to wear?
Okay, so a little cheap thing is if you have something on with a pocket, and dresses have pockets today,
Okay.
a cotton handkerchief or a cloth, like there's really great little muslin ones, and carry it, because the minute you can always hide them in your palm and just subtly and discreetly put
Okay.
it back in your pocket, dresses. Yeah, under your arms. Okay, so there are also cotton.
No, I was joking.
I know, but that's not so discreet to be. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. But in terms of that, I do have clients who introduce me to. I mean, not just the cotton perspiration pads, but there are some that can insert, and it's almost like a bra strap, so you don't have to worry that it shifts or if you move. Oh my gosh, my cotton perspiration pad's gonna fall out of my arm, my sleeve.
Going to be down in my stomach.
Yeah. So there are those. Yes, and they are. I have seen them online. I mean, I don't want to promote Amazon, but you can just put that in and get them so that the confidence is there that it will not shift. So that's one thing. The other, and cotton fabrics, breathable. The other thing, and I know that a lot of your listeners are not going to believe this, but linen is the coolest fabric in warm weathers. If you don't believe me, why do we see those fabrics on people that live in Egypt and where they live in tropical, hot climates? It's all linen. And I love linen. And this is fall 2022. Linen is everywhere right now. So if you want to try it, you can. Cotton for sure. And linen wrinkles, I get it, but that's part of it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. If you're comfortable, a wrinkle isn't anything if you can be less worried about being hot, being uncomfortable. And here's the other thing, Carolyn. We need to wear clothing that isn't fits our body tightly. That is a no-no if you really are starting out or you're in the throw of menopause where it's hot, cold, don't know if you can stand it. You want clothes that are loosely structured.
Okay.
That becomes a problem for women who are very classic and used to tailored clothing. I get it. So you can cheat. You can wear a fitted, so I have a fitted skirt on the bottom and the top, wherever it is that you feel most heat, which is usually the upper body.
Yes.
Then wear something unstructured so that you still keep a bit of that classic structure to your outfit in your fitted bottom. Could be a slim pant, but you have the flowy part. It's not clinging to your body. Less contact with the body, less perspiration.
That's and
it works.
Funnily enough, I've had a perspiration problem my whole life.
Okay.
And I've had to learn the fabrics and the colors that work.
Oh, yes.
And that's why most of the time people will see me in something flowy just for that reason.
Right.
And so it really does work. What do you feel about the woman in that instance that still wants that image of svelte, I guess, that you wear a tight cami under your top's a bit see-through and flowy? Would something like that work, or are you still going to make yourself...
It does work, but those nylon lycra camis are hot.
Yeah.
They don't breathe.
Okay.
So, bamboo is a natural fabric. If you can source those, and the cotton will stretch when you're warm. So if you are wearing a fitted cami in the morning and you get hot, it will stretch and it won't give you that structured feeling that the woman needs.
Interesting. Good point.
So something else I really find helpful, I have a client right now, she is really struggling. So I'll say, okay, so what we're going to do is and she wears sleeveless in the winter, which is great to do that. But the lower the cut under the arm, the less contact as well. So don't have your sleeve hugging your armpit.
Okay.
It will perspire. That's where it will show, especially white. It will yellow. And, so drop the armpit a little bit. Now, that gets into the next thing. No, we don't want to see the bra here. Yeah. So you also need to be looking in the mirror and seeing what does everyone else see when you do that.
That's right.
But it is a godsend, honestly, to have your arm hole lower than your armpit. Oh my goodness.
You know what? But this is why
Yeah.
there's so many conversations. We had so many in the first season, and we've got some really great conversations lined up for this one. And that's what I love about this. It's these little nuggets of information that as women age, and I've said it before, a 20-year-old could be watching this show and benefit from learning for the future.
Yeah.
But it's those little things that women, how often do you think, where should I wear my top?
I know.
You know, so
don't.
these little nuggets are so important. Earlier we were talking and you mentioned about the patent material. Tell us a bit about that one.
Patent leather footwear. So in my intake, I guess, appointment for my new clients, I like to find out, because it really isn't age specific, menopause. I'm finding a lot of my younger clients
You're right.
are going through the menopause, and you would know more about the hereditary aspect of that, but so it isn't just older, mature women. So I say, okay, we are going to look at your footwear closely. And, you know, why? Because if you have patent leather shoes, especially if they're closed toe, we need to really consider if you want to wear that, because it doesn't breathe.
Okay.
And your feet will swell, get sweaty. We can fix that so easily. So why not?
Brilliant.
So patent leather shoes.
Okay.
Right.
So while you're talking about all of that, because I'm thinking, okay, we're not wearing patent and we are doing this and we're wearing, you know, our shirts down here, blah, blah, blah. This is going off topic, but I know you'll be able to answer it. We have this image as women age, that women are getting old, and then you go through menopause and women feel like, a lot of them feel they're invisible, feel like this is it. How can it is making ourselves comfortable as we age with what we wear, but enforce the fact, if you would, please, that women can still feel and look sexy as they age at any age, even with these tips that they're putting into place.
I do not have one client that does not feel on top of the world. In fact, some of them I have to say, okay, calm down, right? Because
get back to the middle of the world.
When you are feeling good about yourself, you started out the segment talking about that, everything else works. It just has that spiral effect. When you wear clothes that are loosely structured in the right fabric, that's your style. You have to also keep in mind, what is your style?
Yes.
You don't want to be someone you're not, because then that is not authentic.
That's right.
Doesn't feel good. But when you are wearing those type of clothing and you have the information and you are empowered, you're going to feel amazing.
You're right.
I cannot tell you the number of clients I have, 55, 60, 65, absolutely stunning, in the right clothing, in the right footwear, in the right, accessorized to their liking, so they're authentic. And I mean, I to be honest, feel that, and this is not made up, in my experience, the clients that are, say, 50 and older are absolutely killing it.
Lovely.
So, and it isn't just about the clothing, keeping your hair, regular appointments with a hairstylist. If you wear eyeglasses, keeping those frames updated. Yeah. Oh my gosh, let's talk about hair and menopause.
Okay, let's.
Like the hair on your head, right? Because all the other love that hair. Next episode. Okay, so this kind of hair, curly hair, of course, today couldn't be more hot. So if you have curly hair, you have curly hair.
Yes.
Do not try to iron it or straighten it, because the minute you do and you break into one of your lovely sweats, it's just going to curl up and scrunch up. So forget it, accept it, and it will do what it's going to do. And we have to just say, okay, let it go. If you have very fine hair, and I do have clients like that, and then you get warm and sweaty, it can become stringy looking. So let's just, there are cute little hair doodads and baubles and accessories out there. Think about the bandanas that are very popular right now, putting it around your neck, lifting the hair off of your neck. It is like turning a fan on to your neck. So so you can either, if you're not a bandana or a hairband person, that's okay. But the minute you do and tuck it in and hide the bow, that is one option. Wearing it off your neck in a ponytail or a knot, or Some of my clients have just let their hair grow a little bit longer and they sweep it up. Oh my gosh, invest in bobby pins. Hello.
Invest in bobby pins.
Yes. I had to go and buy some. I would never put bobby pins in my hair before, but you know what? Okay. Just tuck it back, tuck it up. It's those little things. You will feel so much better.
That's a really good point, because to me, bobby pins and hairpins and things like that actually, I would fear that it would make people feel that, oh, she's, 53-year-old trying to look 20. Whereas if you can put it in a certain way.
And hide it. You can tuck them in so that I often will do that because my hair, depending on the day, and once you get behind warm lights, if that's your business, you're recording or on TV, it's hot.
Yeah.
And you can't control that, but you can tuck some of them in. You don't see the bobby pin.
Okay.
You don't have to see a headband either. Match it to the color of your hair, but you can use it to add the relief to your neck, and it just lifts it up. It actually is really a good option. Don't have to buy into it, but I would recommend don't say no to it.
Try it.
Yeah.
See what works.
Yes. Right.
All right. So let's now, we've sort of covered feeling, we haven't. There's that feeling that women can feel frumpy as we get older. And this is sort of about empowering us this is a great time of life. There's so many reasons for it being such a positive. That's sort of why I called it the modern women's menopause. I think there's a shift in thinking. It's we can rock it. So that feeling of frumpiness, what are a few tips and tricks you have? Because women always come to me and say it's the tummy, or even it's the jiggle under the arms. But perhaps the tummy. What are some tips that you have there, whether it's through how we sit or whether it's through what we wear, that can help a woman, again, just feel empowered and confident?
So I think women, and this is hard, need to move away from old practices. Because you always wore X doesn't mean that will work for you now.
Okay.
A fitted nylon cami under your blouses. You will feel hot. We need to move away from old things that used to work and address new techniques that will. I was with a lady recently shopping, and the tops that she liked, and she was full in the middle, all would tie here, right here.
Okay.
This is a bullseye. So we don't want to draw attention there. We want to distract it. So that's why I mentioned scarves. And I know some people will go, oh, is she crazy? A scarf? But you can take away the viewer's eye focus by addressing it elsewhere. If you like scarves, you don't have to tie them around your neck. Open it, but then have the little tie off to the side. And what happens is the eye naturally follows that point down to your feet, back up, moving away from this area. If you like tops that have a bit of structure, the elastic around the waist, find tops that are a bit longer. They don't end up right at that fullest part of your stomach. And then see if the tie, look for ones with the tie on the side. So then you can blouse it, make sure it's roomy. Sometimes people go up a size. And if it's too big in the upper body, take it to a tailor. There are ways to do this. And then that also is a discreet way to move away from the area. What else, Carolyn? Let me think. And here's another thing. If you have beautiful blue eyes, you do. Okay, let's wear blue or green. Put on the right skin tone colored lipstick for you. No one will notice what you fear they're looking at. To be honest, people aren't checking you out that carefully. They're too worried about their own, oh my gosh, is everything perfect?
You're right.
But I get it isn't about that. It's about how do you feel. So take the attention away from the area by doing something here or having a really cool piece of jewelry or, those tricks that I suggested. Oversized, flowy dresses in cotton or linen are the bomb. Hands down. If you are a classic structured style woman, you can get a dress that is still linear. So, but the difference will be it follows the curves of your body. It does not cling. Still very cool and still maintains your own style integrity because you have to maintain that, right?
That's right.
And, we didn't even talk about this. The bare arms
thing. Let's talk about the bare arms.
Oh boy.
Because I'm trying to help women get their triceps all turned, but let's talk fashion.
Give me those things. Okay. So sheer, you can have your sleeveless or the tops, but a sheer sleeve.
Beautiful.
And you want to try to make sure it's not a synthetic because that could be warmer, but that is an option. Also, there's these cute, your top today is a short little flutter sleeve. It's great. It's not clinging to your arm.
That's right.
So it also has the advantage of not exaggerating the width of your arm because it doesn't cling. And then you can get the longer ones and more butterfly. There are so many sleeve options out there. And I feel that that will help. And they're all unstructured. Bingo.
So unstructured. Unstructured sounds to be the name of the game, but you know, whereas before maybe unstructured made people feel a bit frumpy. Now there's ways of doing it that you can still really feel incredible.
So when I say that to some of my clients, I go, no, I don't wear oversized. And I'm saying, oh, no. There's a huge difference between oversized, which I love, and unstructured. Unstructured just means it doesn't fit tight to the body. Yeah. There's all different degrees of flowy and unstructured. So there is something out there for every style. There really is.
I think there's also dresses, well, just because I have one, but there's those dresses which are lovely, which are very flowy. So they're flowy on the outside, but underneath is a tight fitting part of the dress and
satin.
Hot. And no, this one actually isn't, but yes, let's talk about satin. But just, you know, for the woman that sort of still wants that edginess, I guess, you can get the flowy with a design almost see-through, but it has the tight, so it gives the silhouette of your body for the women that want that still.
And the kimono dresses are very popular these days. And so I say that because there are brands like Cut Loose, I'm trying to think, cotton slips that you can put under them in case the item is not lined, which some women don't like because it's very fitted. And if you gain 2 pounds, then it's very uncomfortable. So the cotton moves with you. But I suggest the ones that have a wider tab strap here so they don't fall down. But there are those out there. There are a lot of them right now, which I love those because I like linen. I like light colors, and you want it to, you know, you don't want it to be transparent. Eek. That's another story.
Well, it's true. Again, my head is sort of going in all different directions, but let's talk designs and shapes, like stripes and things like that. Again, with age, can we wear anything, or there's some things that, you know what, maybe stay away from?
If this is away from menopausal issues, you mean, you know what, I'm going to tell you what, I don't think it's about age. I think it is about confidence.
Love it.
What do you feel great in, and who is your audience?
Yeah.
I think we do need to keep, and I don't mean even if you're retired, you still have an audience. It's your family. And if they're very conservative, you know, how's that going to play out? Because I feel like women also, we need to be mindful of the fact that we are influencers every day, and we usually don't know it. So when I see a woman who's beautiful and fit and 55, 3 teenage kids, 3 teenage boys, you know, I don't know that even though you look great in that cute skirt, is that part of your image? Is that part of your image goals? How is it going to land? How are your kids going to feel? It does matter. You want to be proud of yourself, but I feel like that's why I say, who's your audience?
I think that's
you also want to send that right image, right?
I think that's a huge point.
It is something to think about.
Now, I think we might have touched on it a little bit before, but what about layering?
Oh, jeez.
Tell us about layering.
I don't know that we did. This is a solution to this. And also, even if you are not menopausal, but environments are either air conditioned or heated or air conditioning that's freezing. So you need to, you know, think about that when you get dressed in the morning. Where are you going? What potentially could be the situation? If you don't know, I know a lot of my clients work in environments that are very cold in the summer. So they are wearing their sleeveless top, another little jacket, and then they'll have a scarf because sometimes if you're cold, you can't work. Again, comfort. And I don't mean comfort, easy, sloppy. I mean, you need to be not tugging and shifting and gnawing because that doesn't send a positive self-image, right? So Does that help you? Layering
Absolutely.
is the name of the game. You know what? I could go on for an hour about layering because it is the most economical way to build your wardrobe because you've got these pieces on repeat.
Okay.
When you are traveling, people are traveling again, that's how you pack. You take layers, different levels of layers in your suitcase so you have them if you need. It's the most economical and clever way to build a wardrobe.
So I guess you're having certain items in your wardrobe always.
Yes.
That you can mix and match with.
That
I think it sounds like then it's also probably any age, but especially when you get older with this kind of thing, it's really planning ahead and having all of those different options available.
Build towards that. So a woman with a wardrobe of all blouses, long sleeve blouses, it will be very hard to create different outfits, different vibes, different dress levels with the same kind of top. A blouse is a blouse. Yeah. It could be plain white. It could be gorgeous pattern. It's still a blouse. It's structured, right? So think about sleeveless tops, short sleeve, 3/4 sleeve, long sleeve, graphic tees, plain tees, cardigans, pullovers, long dusters, jackets, all of those.
Wow.
Right. And then you've got your armor, your toolbox ready for when that darn menopause hits you.
Right. This is so wonderful because I think you've I'm sure you've helped a lot of women watching today and maybe their partners as well. But I think it can once it hits, so much seems to be thrown at us.
Yes.
I mean, we would hear our mothers talk about it and think, yeah, that's way in the distance. And yet it hits and everybody is affected differently by it. But, we're all in a different way from it. And it's important. And there's no time to really think and prepare and ask questions and know who to ask the questions of. So when we get these little tips offered that can help a woman go into this whole situation and just knowing that she's got it covered.
Yes. Knowing, okay, this isn't as bad as you think. There are solutions. But I say this, and I think it's my quote. I hope it is. But I say it a lot. In order to move forward, some things need to be left behind. Old mindsets. It doesn't work.
Perfect.
And it's okay to let it go. Many of us did that for the last 2 years. Let it go. What's important? This is a time to say, okay, I can't wear that. I can wear something like it. Do I want to do that and suffer? No, you want to live your life and be comfortable and feel beautiful every minute. And you can.
So this is almost, this time of life, I would say really, and I feel quite passionate about this, is very much about rebirth. So we can chat about that a little bit more. We're actually going to go to a little break now, but I'm just loving this conversation, but have a little think about that.
Okay, great.
want to wear to make me feel good? How can I show up to the world in a way that I really feel wonderful inside? We can really choose how we think about this whole time through our fashion and what we tell the world, through how we're feeling, and it can feel like a rebirth.
It's a mindset. And I feel that women who are resistant to change have a harder time with it. For people to work with me, they do have to trust me, and 99% of them are strangers. So if that's a difficult thing for them to do, it doesn't work. So I do think we really need to understand this is a new phase. This is our body. We are lucky to be here. So in order to enjoy it and make the most of it, realize there are lots of ways to be successful and beautiful right now. So source out those resources. Check blogs and websites and the work that you do. Image consultants, all of us are at different stages of the game. You know, you can find one to work with, because I feel that maybe my average client's age is probably, I would say 48, 50. So I've been dealing with that, knowing what to buy, where to find it. There are so many things you can do, the right fabrics, the right styles, where to highlight, where to not highlight, you know, just all of those things. And ask for help, reach out. Don't just suffer.
That's a big part.
Yourself.
I think asking for help,
right?
Really getting
for everything,
conversations going. And we don't realize until we actually, the women I've spoken with, who it's almost like they've kept everything in about this, and then you start saying about the show, and out it comes. They start verbalizing, and all of their concerns come out. And I think that's so important. I want to. What's that?
We talked about hair. But we didn't talk about the other hair.
Chin hair.
What the
facial hair.
Oh, so I just want to say this. We won't go into it. Where is the best place to get rid of chin hair?
Are you asking me?
No, I'm going to tell you.
Tell me.
In your car. In the sunlight,
in the
mirror. Oh my goodness! But you don't want to really do it at a stoplight, because
you don't have your waxing.
You're gonna look around. So this is.
Excuse me, officer. Pull the wax.
But it is brilliant, and I've pulled up to a light and happened to look where someone is just going at it, and it's like. But the thing is, ladies, invest in really expensive tweezers that have an angle, an angle blade, or you are not just going to try to get rid of the chin hair. You will leave a mark so everyone knows that's what you were doing. Not cool. Not cool. Little bruise, little bruise. Wow. Yeah, and don't do this before you're going air or you're going to speak somewhere. That's not a good
Very
time.
good point. Very good point. I don't know about. I will wax my face and I'll have little itchy bumps that I get just for a little while. But that's a huge point. Again, all of this. I mean, it's all tied in with fashion, how we're appearing to the world.
Feeling.
We're all going to get, or the majority of us are going to get. You know, hair on our faces. It's just a normal thing. So how can we do it in a way that we can do the best things for ourselves?
Joke about it.
And feel like we're just shining through life. The other question that I did have for you before we go was, you know, you've got a lot of women that, no, you can't wear white. Oh, I'm this size, I shouldn't wear white. I should wear this fat.
Oh, boy.
What do you say about people that say there's can'ts out there when it comes to fashion?
Can't should be will try. And should. Forget it. You should. Who said that? Who's telling you that? Your mom? I don't think so.
Exactly.
Do you listen to everything that everyone tells you? No, we need to try. You should try. And maybe then you can decide for yourself. But there are options. Yesterday, a woman called me and she goes, do you remember me? And I said, oh my gosh. And she said, I remember your words to so-and-so, who is very hippie, tiny waist.
Okay.
And she said, she told all of us here at where they all work, you told her that you were going to have her try on a pencil skirt. And she said, no way. And I said, yes way. I only have one rule. You have to try on everything I pulled. You don't have to buy anything.
Okay.
She said, now she is the pencil skirt queen and advocate. She didn't know that her curvy body could work in a pencil skirt.
I love it.
And I said, yes. She said, and she said, and I'm saying this to you, Sue, fit your hips and take in the rest. So there are solutions. Can you wear white jeans if you are a size 2 or 22? Yes, you can. but you may not wear the same white jean that someone else wears. You're going to find what works for you. Thicker, a thicker fabric, different brands cater to those specific women.
Okay.
So I think when you say I can't, you are missing out.
Oh, I think every woman should come and have sessions with you and learn. What I'm gathering from this at the end of the day is it's so much about really relearning at the time we're at now. It's the same thing with nutrition and workouts. Yeah. What we did as a 20-year-old is not what we need to do now in our 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. So it completely changes. Well, it's only natural this would be the case as well. I think it's taking the time on yourself and talking to you and learning what now feels good on your body, looks good on you. And I also get the impression, if I'm not wrong, from you, that it's actually about doing little magic tricks. So wearing what you want, but in such a way that the attention goes over here,
wearing not necessarily what you want, what works now.
What works now.
Yeah, because what I want may not work now. And that's okay. I can move. It's again on that continuum. What I want, let's just move it away from that a little bit. Up here, still happy, still feeling, okay, I'm showing my great legs because I'm proud of them. That's great. Because if that's a woman's strong point, I'm going to find a way to showcase those legs.
Brilliant.
It is not going to be the skirt that just is an inch below her underwear. No. So move along, but there is a way to do everything. And again, you just have to realize there are resources out there to help you.
Lovely.
And it isn't about the money. It isn't about the cost. What is it costing you to not feel your very best?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So
There's only one try at this. So
correct. And I just wanted to say, I have someone who does not really love being full body on a camera. Oh my goodness. So that's something I've had to say, okay, Sue, move away from that. You need to do this. So I do these little reels. You're on Instagram.
Oh, they're wonderful. They're wonderful.
Tiny, tiny, quick, but they all have a point. So I'm just saying to your audience, I am talking to you when I do these. Here's how to dress in extreme heat. So, and they're free. So,
Great.
And there's white jeans. I did one of those recently. So I feel that those resources are out there.
Lovely.
Take the time, check it out.
Find them.
Check it out.
I will be posting all of your information for everybody as usual to check that out and also hopefully to reach out to you as well.
Yeah. Great.
And I really can't thank you. And I think there's way more we could have gone into, maybe a show for another time. But there is so much information here for a woman to, I hope at the end of the day, just understand she can really feel good about herself regardless of her age.
In spite of, instead of, because of her age.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
There you go. In spite of, instead of, because of her age. Brilliant. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. This is fun. I love it.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Have a good one. And it has been said that women with a more positive body image feel better and don't necessarily suffer as much going through the menopausal year years because so many can feel frumpy going through these. Some people, I don't know whether it's just a given that women age and they feel frumpy, whereas we're trying to change that whole conversation and how we feel.
Right.
There's a lot of women that are opting, instead of going the medical route, HRT, and I am not in any way suggesting for women not to. It's just the research shows that when given the options, the majority of the women actually want to try and deal with menopause on their own, in their own way, healthfully and holistically. And in my personal opinion, fashion's a huge part of that because what we wear on the outside reflects to the world how we're really feeling and can make us feel great or not so great either way. And so that's sort of what I wanted to talk today about, our feelings, how we're feeling when we're going through menopause, how we can reflect that in our clothing as we have all these weight shifts that we go through.
And, as an image consultant, I see this from probably 35-year-old women to my oldest client, 71. And I think menopause aside, women do need to feel confident, and body consciousness and image is such a huge part of that. But you are right. If you don't feel well, if you are warm and going from freezing to hot and freezing to hot, you're not going to be reaching for your best outfit. You're going to be probably just trying to make it through the day without looking like you are standing under a rain shower. So I totally get it. Like for myself, I went through menopause early. It was surgically induced.
Okay.
I didn't know that you could sweat behind your knees, at my wrist. It was like, what is happening? So winter was great. Throw the windows open, stick your head out, and then you're freezing. So it totally is about getting in your mind that there are solutions. You are not alone, and that's why what you're doing is so important, and that there are so many ways to combat that frumpy feeling. And I think frumpy happens whether it's menopause or not. Women just get into a rut in life and they start forgetting that there are options out there, and they take the easy route. So we need to focus and get resources, ask for help, read your blog, and know that there are so many clothing hacks and tricks to get you through this period of great change in our bodies. And I have to say to you, my clients, and I'm thinking of several of them, from 50 to 55, these women are stunning. They are owning it. They have realized that, you know what, it is what it is, and I need to do what I need to do to move forward in the best way. Because this is a time of, I think, freedom.
Yes.
We just can do what we want. And a lot of us are going, yeah, been there, done that, don't care. And it's okay. So you want to align, like you said, that outside with, we want to align the inside with the outside.
That's right.
And that is super important. And some of those things are right in the closet. They're in services that are community-based, and we just need to know what they are.
That's right. I think you're right, and you're so right. You're just preaching to the choir here when it comes to, helping women feel confidence. They need that if they can own it. And I don't know if part of it is society, that it's always been that women hit a certain age, therefore she's old, and therefore we feel we're looked at a certain way. Why bother anymore? Because when in fact, if we can shift that whole perspective, that at any age and every single age, we have that right to feel as amazing and put that out to the world as we possibly could.
To be honest, you're on Instagram, I'm on Instagram. There are so many incredible Instagram influencers who are over 50, who are over 55, and they showcase other women. It's embracing gray hair. It's, okay, you don't like makeup, but maybe you could just touch up your lips a little bit, because again, that will highlight your face, your beautiful eyes, or maybe your gorgeous hair, your super complexion. So I suggest also to women who are feeling like that, search out those kinds of resources. Move away from the Vogue and all the young, perfect, okay, and I'm not going to call them perfect women, because they're not. They're a different category. And see, wow, these women, I can identify with her. I can try that. Oh, I could wear those. I think it's really doing a little bit of homework and finding your new peeps.
Finding your new people. And I think it's very important to also, you're right, looking at the right places on social media.
Right.
And the more women we can have in the I was going to say aging, but in the more mature category, the better, because we're actually showing other women who maybe don't feel so great about themselves how to feel great about themselves, or better.
Exactly.
Or little tips and tricks. So,
keeping up with every single thing to do with your body. Fitness, health, easier said than done. Going to get a regular haircut. Make sure that you pay attention to yourself. Don't let it slide, because that's a slippery slope.
Okay.
And when you do make an effort, and it could be minuscule, it could be moving from jogging pants and a sweatshirt to something else that's fitted. Maybe it's a nice legging, and that's another topic for image consultants, legging, but it is a transition forward, and a great longer blouse, and a piece of jewelry, and a lip gloss. It doesn't have to be a huge step forward, just move forward a little bit, because that positive energy will be, it's contagious.
You're right.
And it spirals into, oh, that felt good. Somebody told me I look great today. It's just all of that. Oh my gosh. I know many women who are older, who are stunning. I mean, they wouldn't say that they are, but I'm looking at it in their poise, their presentation, and just look at you and let some things go.
Lovely. Great advice. Can we talk? We were talking before we started filming, and you mentioned about patent leather.
Oh.
Tell me a bit about that.
So when I am meeting with a new client, part of my intake process is big questionnaire, you probably know that. And when I get to, discreetly say, so what stage of life are you at? I look at their age. That doesn't mean that they couldn't be premenopausal. So I'm asking what's going on, how are you feeling, anything that I need to know. If there is any hint that, oh my gosh, I'm starting to get signs of menopause, but I'm too young. No, you're not. But anyway, and some of them have had surgeries that they're all of a sudden plopped into that experience. I will say, okay, so one area of your wardrobe that we are going to look at that you will not have thought about is your footwear, because patent leather shoes do not breathe. And if they are closed-toed, again, it's like, oh my gosh, so much pain from that situation can be avoided by just removing them from your wardrobe, if that's an area that the woman is struggling with. A peep toe, so it has a bit of space for your toes to peek out. And maybe if it has a sling back, that might get a pass in the wardrobe, because I don't, you don't just toss out everything. I don't do that. But patent leather is not forgiving.
Okay.
It creates swelling. And where there's swelling, there is perspiration. Okay. We can control that. Move on.
I love it. There's all of these tips that if we can just get a bit smarter as we go, we can actually help ourselves feel so much better. Perfect.
Just a little bit of little things like that, right?
Lovely.
Little thing like that. Nylon fabric, synthetic. Especially if it's fitted. I wanted to say this too, because silk is a natural fiber. But for me, if just saying the word silk, I feel myself heating up.
Okay.
I cannot wear it, but I don't want to say that for some that won't work. Try it. You'll know in an instant.
That's right.
And if it's the wrong color of silk, it is going to show. So just try it.
Okay. All right. Great advice.
Okay.
I always love the information and advice that Susan offers us, sticking to staples and the classics, using your accessories to help you sparkle, glam up or down an outfit, or make it fun. But also, here's another thing to think about: getting rid of clothes that don't serve you. Not only clearing space in your closet, but clearing space in your mind, because when we clear the space and declutter our surroundings, we're actually doing so much to help declutter our mind. And most importantly, I feel, also this could be a way to help other women by donating clothes to either a used or a gently used clothing store, or donating them in general. So I hope that's been helpful. Just a few ways that you can show up in this world. You can make yourself feel great while you go through menopause. And my friend, you still deserve to sparkle.
Live in the now and be happy.
As a health coach, I really do love to help women thrive because I feel, especially the menopausal years, which could be from the 30s upwards, it's extremely important to know the little tweaks that they can add into their everyday that could possibly help how they feel and how they show up in the world. I'm also very passionate about younger women knowing this, because one thing about our generation is we're the first generation, I think, to really get this conversation going in a big way and to ask the questions. But in turn, by us asking the questions and learning the answers, we now have information we can pass on to the next generations. Because what I have really come to learn is the sooner we can put healthy actions and wellness actions into our life, the better it is for our quality of life through and after menopause. Very important. So through my health coaching and life coaching, or whether it is I'm offering yoga or doing my fun pound classes or trainings, these are ways that I truly help women show up in this world and just feel incredible with where they're at, listening to their body of today, not of yesterday. So please, if I can help you sparkle in any way or just answer some questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me with the information below.